what is the actual reason that you're not learning English online? What is the actual reason that there are a lot of great contents that are specifically built for teaching English and you're maybe using them, but you don't seem to get any benefits from them? You don't see any benefits and you're not learning English on social media. At the end of this video, you're going to understand that what is the underlying reason that you're not learning English online and how you can benefit from all of these great contents that exist on YouTube or on social media from all of these great teachers all around the world. Imagine that. Let's check it out. Oh, by the way, I am Maide, and I'm going to help you with a lot of things in your learning process. Let me just tell you that at the end of the video, okay? Let's go. Well, you have probably watched a lot of these videos, a lot of these contents that are actually built for you to learn English, but you don't seem to get a lot of benefits from them. Or they were even forgotten the next day, or they didn't seem to work for you, like at all. First of all, let's check the only way to learn English. That's right, the only way to learn English. What is that only way to learn English? I mean, I say it's the only way because it's so proven. Everyone are talking about it. All the polyglots, all the linguists. And it's proven because you have already learned a language with that method. I mean, you've already learned your mother tongue with that. Let's check it out. Let's get back to the time when you were a little baby. What happened at that time? Well, if you think about it, you used to pay attention to all the voices around you. You used to listen to your surroundings, to the people that are talking around you, all the sentences, all the words that they're using, you know? You were paying attention. So first of all, you had the necessary attention to your surroundings, voices, and to the language that you're exposed to. But there was also a pressure on you to be communicating with the surroundings, with your surroundings, with your environment. I mean, you wanted to meet your needs. That's right. You wanted to meet your needs. For example, if you wanted water, you needed to listen to a lot of people around you whenever they needed water. For example, you've heard so many times that they said, "I want water." They use the word water. So whenever you're thirsty, you're going to use the same word, water. And that seemed to be working for you. So you have the necessary attention. There was a pressure on you to be learning that language and to be communicating to the world around you and to the people to meet your needs, which kept you so motivated and always curious about learning the new things. And you were trying and trying, you were making mistakes, you were fixing yourself, and you didn't even miss a day when you were learning your mother tongue. That's right. Consistency. Consistency seems to be the only thing that actually matters when we're talking about learning a language. That's right. A lot of polyglots, a lot of the people that are expert in this field, a lot of language learners, bilinguals, and linguists, they're all saying the same thing. When you read their books or watch their videos, all the things that they're trying to say is that you need to be consistent in learning a language. They say that you need to be exposed to a language with consistency in a consistent manner. I mean, how many days did you miss when you were learning your mother tongue? Nothing. You've learned your mother tongue, you were exposed to the language, you were paying attention to the language, you were learning the language like repeatedly in a consistent manner, like every day until you were actually fluent in your mother tongue, in the language. I mean, that's literally based on the truth. That's the actual way that the brain works. I mean, that's the way that our brain functions and works. It's only gonna learn a language when it is consistently exposed to a language and is, you're paying attention to a language in a consistent manner. And that only happens with consistency. Consistency. That seems to be the point. But all of that stems from the function of our brain. Helps with memory consolidation. What is memory consolidation anyway? Well, memory consolidation is something that, our brain, how it works, we forget. We just watch a video and we forget it the other day. It's just the way our brain is, honestly. We learn something and we forget it tomorrow. It's just the way our brain is, okay? We forget things. But what if we review things? We forget things unless we review them, review the information that we've learned the day after or in a consistent manner, okay? So that seems to be the only way to remember and to have the things we have learned in our mind in a consistent manner. So if you're learning something new in a language, you need to have consistent practices or consistent listening practices, which are so very worthwhile, because without even getting too much pressure or too much effort, they're going to help you so much with reviewing and with memory consolidation. It helps you to remember the things that you've learned with only a listening practice, and that is how we're exposed to a language, right? So that is how we will review things again and again, and we will keep it really strong in our head. We will make it stay there forever. Also helps with automaticity. What is that? The ability to be more automatic in a language, automatic in thinking in a language, automatic in speaking in a language. That only happens when you have practiced a language and when you have been exposed to a language in a consistent manner. So it all just comes back to consistency when we're learning a language. Also boosts our confidence. It really helps with our confidence, because the more you're consistent with your practices, the more you're connected to a language, the more you're gonna feel like you can do it. The more you're gonna feel like, oh my God, this is part of me. You feel more confident, and confident is a really important factor in speaking a language. If you want to be able to speak a language, you need to be confident in that language, right? So that's a really great part of having consistency in your practices. You can build trust in your ability to speak a language, and also the ability to be have this power in speaking a language and remembering the things that you need to remember. It's just a trust and confidence in using the language. The other important thing that happens only with consistency is mistake identification. You're going to identify the mistakes that you have, maybe deep in your language. You're trying to learn a language, and there's some underlying mistakes, and they cannot be shown unless you are doing the practices in a consistent manner. When you're consistently practicing English and you're exposed to that, little by little, you're going to address the mistakes that you have, the problems, the issues that you have. When you address them, you will be able to fix them, okay? So that only happens with time and consistency. And the more you're fixing these problems, the more you're going to be fluent in English, because those problems at some point will seem to be so little that they don't even be showing anymore. So now that you know that consistency seems to be the only way to learn a language like English, that also works when you're using and consuming contents on YouTube or any other application you're using it. The valuable contents that are out there from maybe the greatest English teachers that exist, you gotta make sure that you're using those contents in a right way, the way that you can actually learn a language. If you're not using them in a right way, then I'm sorry, you're not gonna be using the great contents that exist out there. You're gonna miss it out, And that seems to be a bummer, because these contents have been really helpful for many people. If you want to be one of those people to just extend your English knowledge in a way that you will be able to be fluent in the language, you actually need to be following the right methods, which is consistency. I'm guessing that you're one of those people who watches, for example, 10 of those videos of some teachers teaching English, and you watch, for example, 10 of those contents, and you're just tired of them, and you stop watching them for a month. If you're one of those people that you don't seem to have like consistency in your practices and in your exposure to the language, well, I gotta tell you that those contents are not gonna work out for you. Now I think you're guessing that what is the actual way to benefit from all of these great contents that exist on social media, basically for you to learn English. That's right, in a consistent manner. And my suggestion is, for example, you choose a day for learning grammar on YouTube. You choose a great teacher that you feel more comfortable and you feel like you get their message faster and in a better way. So you can choose that teacher and then start listening to them, for example, on Thursdays, and then like have a session with them on Thursdays and get the benefit that they're trying to send for you, to watch them in a consistent manner. Or vocabulary lessons that we see a lot of teachers that they're teaching them in a right method. I mean, vocabulary in context. You can use all of those great information, you know? But all that really matters is that you watch and you learn them and you have those sessions in a consistent manner, okay? Make sure that you benefit from all of them and just like extend your English as much as you can. And I promise this can happen with consistency. Now, what is this channel all about? I mean, my channel. I looked at YouTube, I searched on YouTube, and as an English teacher, I just thought that what is missing on YouTube for English learners? And all I saw is that based on the actual and real way of learning English, there's not much of, contents that are specifically built for you to use them and consume them consistently, okay? They're just some random tips that you might not need all of them, and they're just gonna distract you sometimes. In this channel, I'm going to inform you about the exact day that I'm going to share grammatical lessons with you, and I'm going to share with you the time that I'm going to focus on vocabulary and teach you vocabulary with the right way, learning in context, and you will be able to use these lessons in a consistent manner, in a way that they're built for you. I have made them in a way that so that you could use them with the right method. So I'm hoping that this video be worthwhile and valuable for you and send the value that I'm trying to deliver that. And if you think about it, we are just watching some videos just because we want to entertain ourselves. But if we really have the purpose of learning, we're going to make a plan and just start learning with consistency, which is the only way that works in terms of learning languages. I'm so happy and honored that you watched me till the end. And please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget that ring the bell, because whenever that I share a new video, you gotta know that it's your learning session and you gotta be consistent. And don't forget that consistency is the only thing that works, also on social media and like everything in life, okay? So that's it. Thank you so much. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Bye.